So if you've been practicing improvising over jazz standards, but you continually feel like you're not improving, not getting any better, it could be that you're just practicing them wrong in the very first place. So I'm gonna share with you strategies for practicing jazz standards and actually improvising over them, coming right up. So to demonstrate these strategies that I'm talking about for actually practicing improvising, let's go look at the tune called 4, and this is by Miles Davis. 4 sounds like this. So for our purposes today, let's just look at the first 8 bars of 4 and see what we can find out about the chord changes themselves. They're gonna cause us a little bit of struggle. So when I take a look at this particular tune, the first problem I see is we have this E flat major 7th chord. It's the 1 chord. We're in the key of concert E flat major, and it lasts for 2 bars, right? So my first question that I'm having is, what do I play over top of this E flat major 7? And like, how can I improvise well over top of that? Because a common mistake that a lot of improvisers make is you're just gonna put on a backing track and play through this entire tune and keep playing through all the chord changes, therefore not really getting great at improvising over a few chord changes. So what my first strategy is going to be is to isolate just 1 chord and practice improvising over that 1 chord. So let's go ahead and do that over the E flat major 7. So notice that I was actually slowing the tempo down quite a bit, and this is really important as well. A lot of times I see improvisers making the mistake of trying to practice the jazz standard at full speed, but by first slowing things down a lot, like I just did over top of this 1 chord, it's really gonna help me get a little bit more of a chance to think of some musical ideas. Now, the beauty of just isolating this 1 chord is I'm gonna have a lot of opportunities to experiment and play around and get really comfortable with those first 2 bars of 4. Now, if we take a look at the chord changes, we also have this isolated F minor 7 that lasts for 2 bars. So I'm also realizing, hey, when I get to that point, I'm gonna wanna have some good ideas that I can play over top of F minor. So of course we can go to recordings and transcribe solos and all that good stuff for learning jazz language. But again, we're talking about practicing improvisation here. So let's go ahead and practice just improvising over the F minor 7. So now let's look at the second problem in this tune, which I identify here as E flat minor 7 to A flat 7. So E flat minor 7 to A flat 7 is what I would call a common chord progression. So we have a 2 and a 5. Now this is a 2-5 in the key of D flat major. Now in the case of 4, it doesn't resolve there. That's okay, because really I want to get really good at 2-5 chord progressions because they're going to come up all the time in jazz standards, and if I don't have some good ideas over top of just those 2 chords, it could be a little bit difficult. So now what I want to do is I want to isolate just these bars 3 and bars 4 and see what kind of musical ideas I can come up with. And again, I'm gonna slow things down quite a bit so that I have a good grasp on practicing and experimenting with these 2 chords. So now I'm gonna isolate just this common chord progression at 2-5. Let's give it a try. over and over and over again, I'm getting used to playing this 2-5, the E flat minor 7 and the A flat 7, and getting more comfortable with it, allowing myself to truly explore this chord progression. And of course, I would do the exact same thing with the A flat minor 7 to the D flat 7. Practicing that 2-5 relationship. Not only am I getting really good at playing a 2-5 in that particular key, I'm gonna feel more comfortable when it gets to the point where I'm actually improvising over a bigger structure. Now, by the way, you're gonna get used to a lot more common chord progressions the more jazz standards you actually learn. So I actually have a free guide called Learn Jazz Standards the Smart Way, and it's really gonna help you learn jazz standards by ear. It's a 5-step process, really foolproof, and it's really awesome. So check it out, learnjazzstandardsthesmartway.com. Okay, so now we've isolated just single chords, we've isolated common chord progressions. Now what we have to do is start looking at bigger pictures, because right, ultimately when we're improvising, we need to work on actual transitions. So the third problem we need to face is how do we practice transitions? So the first transition that happens is in the first 4 bars. We go from that isolated E flat major 7 to that 2-5. So I'm gonna have to practice transitioning from that E flat major 7 1 chord to the E flat minor 7 to the A flat 7. So let's go ahead and practice that right now. So that's one transition I might want to work on, but also here's another transition, the E flat minor 7 to the A flat 7 to the F minor 7, right? Because actually normally we'd be transitioning to a D flat major 7, a 1 chord. Well, this actually goes to the 2 chord in E flat major, which is F minor. So let's practice the E flat minor 7, A flat 7 to the F minor 7 transition. Now I would go ahead and continue throughout the entire tune doing exactly this, finding problem areas, really isolating them, slowing the tempo down, looping them over and over again until I feel comfortable, and slowly but surely practicing bigger and bigger and bigger sections until I'm able to play the entire thing. So now obviously this is great for practicing, but you may wonder, hey, how do I actually play jazz language, like the really cool jazz lines that all of my favorite jazz musicians are playing? Well, a good idea would be to learn solos by them, but how do you actually do that? Well, I have a video on the screen right now called How to Learn a Jazz Solo by Ear. It's gonna make it really simple for you, so go ahead and click on that video right now. Hope you found this video helpful. Make sure you like it if you did find it helpful. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers.